So I just watched something that is long overdue. In fact, I can't even believe that I'm still having to watch things on this subject because it's unreal that we are on the verge of the 18th anniversary and the first responders still have not been taken care of, many of which have died. And there is no denying now that they lied about the air quality after that day. Christine Todd Whitman among them. Okay? And, when I saw this initially, I said to myself, I don't agree with Jon Stewart a lot. I used to watch The Daily Show when I was much younger. But, do I agree with his politics? Absolutely, I don't. And then I saw what he was making the rounds in the news for. And I knew that he had been working with John Feel, who's the tattooed gentleman next to him, of the Feel Good Foundation. And John Feel is somebody, if you really want to make a difference, please go and call or email him. That's how you make a difference in these first responders' lives. I'll tell you how you don't make a difference. Go with the Red Cross, okay? Just so people understand, the Red Cross, they're not your friends. Okay, they're going to defend their handling of that? Disgusting. Remember that? So now we got, sorry about the angles there. You got Jon Stewart in front of Congress, and he did such a wonderful job. I mean, he told these people who they are. And there's sad excuses for human beings, okay? And I'm going to play some of this. There's only like one very, very small point that I disagree with anything that Stewart had to say.
I want to thank Mr. Collins and Mr. Nadler for putting this together, but as I sit here today, I can't help but think what an incredible metaphor this room is for the entire process that getting health care and benefits for 9/11 first responders has come to. Behind me, a filled room of 9/11 first responders, and in front of me, a nearly empty Congress. Sick and dying, they brought themselves down here to speak to no one. It's shameful. It's an embarrassment to the country, and it is a stain on this institution.
Damn straight. It is an embarrassment to this country. Almost nobody there. Even Nadler, who set this up, he's the embarrassment as well. You know what they're busy doing? Propagating bullshit Russia hoaxes and now trying to impeach a president for obstruction of justice on a crime they didn't commit. All right? That's what's even more upsetting. That these criminals at the top, they laugh. Hey, the billionaires that day, the Silversteins of the world, they got their money. They got their compensation. And yet, we've got people who lost their lives, are currently dying, and they can't even get a real hearing where people are going to listen to them. It's almost 18 years later. And that was a very small part of the truth movement, aka the air issue, but what wasn't a small part was, they tried to spin it that we were against the family members and the victims. No, we were trying to get them the help they needed. All right? That's the bottom line. And to this day, they have been neglected. Again, before we go back, here's John Feel. In the past, we had worked with him, 5th anniversary of 9/11, Feel Good Foundation. There's the number, 631-724-3320. You want to help this broadcast? You want to help him? Please tell him Jason sent you. FEAL13@AOL.com. That's how far back, that's how old school he is. He still has his AOL address, guys. And this guy right here, he is a hero. Jon Feel is a hero. In fact, do I have here he is. He got injured pretty badly out there. And thank God for Jon Feel. And Jon Stewart, thank you for doing this.
And you should be ashamed of yourselves for those that aren't here, but you won't be. Because accountability doesn't appear to be something that occurs in this chamber.
Damn right. Damn right.
We don't want to be here. Lou doesn't want to be here. None of these people want to be here. But they are, and they're not here for themselves. They're here to continue fighting for what's right. Lou's going to go back for his 69th chemo.
69.
The great Ray Pfeiffer would come down here, his body riddled with cancer and pain, where he couldn't walk. And the disrespect shown to him and to the other lobbyists on this bill is utterly unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I used to get, I would be so angry at the latest injustice that's done to these men and women. And, you know, another business card thrown our way as a way of shooing us away. Like children trick-or-treating.
Like children. And you know how many times I make that point? They treat us like children. Oh, here's a business card. Oh, here you go. Here, no, we want to help the first responders. No, you don't. You wouldn't have let the Red Cross steal all that money. That money right after 9/11. Yeah. If the Red Cross were doing their job, guess what? None of these people would be here today. And Jon Stewart wouldn't be before an empty Congress getting emotional about his dead and dying friends.
Rather than the heroes that they are and will always be. Ray would say, calm down, Johnny, calm down. I got all the cards I need. And he would tap his pocket. Where he kept the prayer cards. 343 firefighters. The official FDNY response time to 9/11 was 5 seconds. 5 seconds. That's how long it took for FDNY, for NYPD, for Port Authority, for EMS to respond to an urgent need from the public. 5 seconds.
And remember, we're not discussing, what happened and who is responsible. We're talking about people that went in to save lives after it happened. And that cleaned up what was essentially a toxic wasteland war zone for months on end, being told, oh no, the air is safe to breathe. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And Jon Stewart's been with these guys for years. Years. Again, John Feel Good Foundation. Give them a call. Give them an email. Please donate. These people really need your help. I've met some of the people. The Zadroga bill. This is the bill they're talking. I sat down with Zadroga, and he's on a breathing machine. And this was on the run up to the 5th anniversary of 9/11. We were really putting stuff together and trying our best to help people. And God bless John Feel for continuing to do it.
Hundreds died in an instant. Thousands more poured in to continue to fight for their brothers and sisters. The breathing problem started almost immediately, and they were told they weren't sick, they were crazy. And then, as the illnesses got worse and things became more apparent, well, okay, you're sick, but it's not from the pile. And then, when the science became irrefutable, okay, it's the pile. But this is a New York issue. I don't know if we have the money. And I'm sorry if I sound angry and undiplomatic, but I'm angry. And you should be too, and they're all angry as well. And they have every justification to be that way. There is not a person here, there is not an empty chair on that stage that didn't tweet out, never forget the heroes of 9/11. Never forget their bravery. Never forget what they did, what they gave to this country. Well, here they are.
Well, I'll tell you what. Twitter, I'm not even sure was really as big back then, but they sure proselytized it in campaigns, on television, led to the quote-unquote war on terror, led to the Patriot Act, led to Homeland Security, led to a lot of things I'm not a big fan of, led to the evisceration of our constitutional rights, and it led to an already overgrown military and media industrial complex to grow into the leviathan of lies and control it has today. It's still the issue. And while all of this is going on, we still can't even acknowledge it.
And where are they? And it would be one thing if their callous indifference and rank hypocrisy were benign, but it's not. Your indifference costs these men and women their most valuable commodity, time.
Yeah, but John, don't you understand? These guys are the ones that get to play God. They get to decide how long you live, or if you get to live at all, and what your quality of life is, and how hard you have to fight for basic health care. After they lied to you, not only about the event, but the air quality itself. Fantastic, huh? And that's the truth. And that is what launched me into this for everybody that does not know. You know, that event is the catalyst here. And I'm sorry I keep stopping it, but it's damn important. Feel Good Foundation. John Feel, hero, 631-724-3320. Tell him Jason sent you. Give him an email at his old AOL account, please. feelgoodfoundation.com. Here he is with Jon Stewart. And look at all these first responders in the backdrop here. Huh? Build with them. Build with them. All right? And it is sad. I want to cry. I am so glad John did this.
One thing they're running out of. This should be flipped. This hearing should be flipped. These men and women should be up on that stage, and Congress should be down here answering their questions as to why this is so damn hard and takes so damn long. And why, no matter what they get, something's always pulled back, and they got to come back. Mr. Johnson, you made a point earlier, and it was one that we have heard over and over again in these halls, and I couldn't help but to answer to it, which was, you said, look, you know, you guys are obviously heroes, and 9/11 was a big deal, but, you know, we have a lot of stuff here to do. And, you know, we got to make sure there's money for a variety of disasters, hurricanes, and tornadoes. But this was...
Yeah, wait, hold on. Yeah, we got all the money in the world for war. We got all the money in the world to send 1,500 more troops over into the Gulf region while this Iran conflict heats up. All the money in the world. All the money in the world for Sudan. All the money in the world for Libya, Somalia. When it's a foreign interest and people are selling arms to the tunes of billions of dollars, like the $8 billion deal on 22 arms sales to Saudi Arabia that was an emergency, so Trump signs an executive order to sell it, we got all the money in the world. Imagine that $8 billion was going to these. Huh? Do you remember that? Can you imagine? No, they're going to fight tooth and nail as more of them die and more of them get sick. And again, thank you, Mr. Stewart. Let's continue.
It wasn't a hurricane, and this wasn't a tornado. And by the way, that's your job anyway. We can't fund these programs. You can. Setting aside that no American in this country should face financial ruin because of a health issue. Certainly 9/11 first responders shouldn't have to decide whether to live or to have a place to live. And the idea that you can only give them 5 more years of the VCF because you're not quite sure what's going to happen 5 years from now, well, I can tell you, I'm pretty sure what's going to happen 5 years from now. More of these men and women are going to get sick and they are going to die. And I am awfully tired of hearing that it's a 9/11 New York issue. Al-Qaeda didn't shout death to Tribeca.
Listen, only part I disagree with. That's it. Only part I disagree with, but in the sense that this is an attack on the interests of, the United States. And when I say the United States, I mean the people. It was an attack on us. It was an attack on everybody's civil liberties. It was an attack on our true freedom to have a prosperous economy while we were at peace with the majority of the world. There may have been military installations, but we sure weren't in all these nations for regime change wars. We weren't involved with Syria on the level we are right now. Certainly not Afghanistan. We'd gotten out of there after the 80s. Oh, big conflict with Russia. I know. That's why we worked with bin Laden. I'm sure we never worked with bin Laden afterwards. Sure we didn't. Bush's vacation with the bin Ladens. You've seen my other videos. Please watch my films, Fabled Enemies, Loose Change Final Cut, if you want to know the truth behind these attacks. And once again, if you want to help these first responders, Feel Good Foundation. It's John Feel right here. Here he is. Feel Good Foundation, 631-724-3320. Tell him Jason sent you. FEAL13@AOL.com. He's been in the game a while. Thank you, Tiger's Eye, for the super chat. It is much appreciated. Let's continue and let John say a little bit more.
They attacked America and these men and women, and their response to it is what brought our country back. It's what gave a reeling nation a solid foundation to stand back upon, to remind us of why this country is great, of why this country is worth fighting for. And you are ignoring them. And you can end it tomorrow. Why this bill isn't unanimous consent and a standalone issue is beyond my comprehension.
Because that's not how
and
Washington
I have yet
works.
To hear
there is no real reason. That's how these demons work. You're not a powerful lobbyist group, all right? It's not going to make any money for any of these politicians. They'll sit there and grandstand and say, we really want to do it. But again, when it comes to foreign conflicts, they'll vote for that all day. Doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. Believe the hype. Huh? Joey Biden do the same thing. Nadler over there. I don't trust Oh, Jerry Nadler is really concerned. Yeah. Jerry Nadler is concerned about Jerry Nadler.
Reasonable explanation for why. It'll get stuck in some transportation bill or some appropriations bill and get sent over to the Senate, where a certain someone from the Senate will use it as a political football to get themselves maybe another new import tax on petroleum, because that's what happened to us in 2015. And we won't allow it to happen again. Thank God for people like John Feel. Thank God for people like Ray Pfeiffer. Thank God for all of these people who will not let it happen.
That's right. And look, here's Feel right here in the corner. John Feel, again, here he is. Feel Good Foundation, 631-724-3320. Please give him a call. Please help out. Again, they're doing real things for real people there. It's unbelievable how taxing financially it is to try to, live with cancer on your 69th round of chemo, like Jon Stewart was just talking about. So again, I really want to reiterate that it's kind of up to us to make sure that that the Zadroga Act is passed, that we hold these people's feet to the fire, that we do tell them that they're disgusting human beings for not showing up, for not being in full support of this bill. And that, again, we got all the money in the world for the military-industrial complex and the wars that came after this horrible incident. And that's the truth of the matter. So, I may not agree with everything that Jon Stewart has to say, certainly not his politics, but his politics on this one, thank you again, John. I completely agree. Guys, if you're not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. We're doing hard-hitting news here. We're doing many. I think this is video number 5 or 6 today. I'm not even sure. Obviously getting demonetized. We did stuff on Kim Jong-un's brother being a CIA informant. New information on the Epstein case. New information on the Seville case. We've got a Dershowitz, DARPA, Moon video, Iran, Nexium, biometrics, JFK, and much, much more. We're covering it all. Big Pharma, Assange, you name it. So please subscribe, join the Burmese Brigade if you have not, and forget about the ringing the bell for notifications. Just hit the star up in the videos. Come check it out. There's going to be new content. There's going to be worthwhile content. You want deep dives into JFK? I got one I guarantee that is going to blow your mind. So again, thank you all for your support, and thank you, Jon Stewart, man. You kicked some major ass today. John Feel, again, he's the guy to donate to. Feel Good Foundation until we can finally get this act passed. Thank you again. I'll see you guys on the flip side.